What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Inder's Notes. I want to take you down Twitter today. Bit of a different scenery. If you check out the trending tab on Twitter right now, Zapdos is trending. And I think it might be in part to my tweet here, getting Unite players to type Zapdos was on their mobile phones and letting them see what their phone auto-completes it with. It's been a popular trend on Twitter for a little bit now, and I wanted to try the exercise on Twitter. And we got some really good ones here. Zapdos was just getting back to bed, and we have to go back with him. Wonder what that says about your autocorrect. Zapdos was watching a video clip on Fox YouTube. I wonder what Fox YouTube is. Me too. A lot of really funny ones here. Probably my favorite one was Zapdos was a living, waking nightmare that I never had to experience on a day-to-day basis. Surely I will never recover from the trauma of these days. Oh my god. I want you guys to try in the comments and let me know what you get. But on the topic of Zapdos, when Zapdos was removed in the new map on Thea Sky Ruins, and for those of you guys that don't know, first year of Pokemon Unite had Zapdos as the middle objective instead of Rayquaza, people were excited. You know, we got to deal, we no longer had to deal with games being flipped. The winner of Zapdos wasn't necessarily going to be the winner of the game. And it was nice. It was a fresh breath of fresh air on Thea Sky Ruins, but the latest patch that we got on September 28th, Timmy, the developers of the game, did something interesting. They nerfed the entire map, with experience being nerfed, some of the Eos energy that neutrals give and experience being nerfed as well. But most importantly, the biggest change of this patch was Rayquaza's health. Base health got decreased significantly. And the health that it gains every 30 seconds also got decreased. And for those of you guys that don't know, every single Pokemon, wild Pokemon in the game, has a base HP, and then its experience as well as health increases every 30 seconds. So this health scaling thing isn't unique to Rayquaza, but it did come down significantly, making it a lot easier and a lot squishier, a lot easier to flip. One thing I did want to show you guys was that this is actually directly in line with the HP that we used to have for Zapdos on the old map. If you direct your attention to this quadrant right here, and you look, Zapdos used to have an HP of 7720, and it's scaled up per level by this exact amount, 1393, and if you just subtract the next HP by its base, it's 1393. So basically what the devs ended up doing was reverting Rayquaza to Zapdos, and obviously you don't have the same effect where Zapdos would destroy your goals and do that big lightning slam. Instead, you have Rayquaza, who gives your team a shield, and that shield basically gives you a better version of Goal Getter, which means you do have to cap. But the one thing is that shield is equal to a big portion of your max health, so it's a pretty big shield, and it also increases the player damage you deal by 30%, which means that it's not too hard to fight after winning Rayquaza for your team. And while the game isn't as flippy as it once used to be with Zapdos, we're starting to see a trend in solo queue and competitive 5-stacks that every game has just happened to be flipped. We see a lot more Duraludon now. I don't know if this is a trend you guys have noticed, but this was one of the original characters that excelled at flipping the objective. One of the big reasons why it's so good is you use its Unite move, which gives him additional attack. It puts down fire on the ground, which does massive damage over time. And you combine this with the move that a lot of Duraludons go, Dragon Pulse, which is a really good last hitting tool. You can burn down Rayquaza and then have a good shot at last hitting it. So that's become a lot more popular. Dragonite, notorious for being a Pokemon that excelled at flipping. Very similar kind of premise. You constantly hit them, you build up your stacks with Dragon Dance, and then you look to last it with Hyper Beam, which, you take a look right here, the third stage of Hyper Beam at level 13, which is the minimum you should be at Rayquaza. It does 2,000 damage, plus the cap, which you're probably going to be hitting on wild Pokemon, which is based on their max HP, which is another 2,400. Plus, if you're running any attack items to stack it up, you're going to be doing an insane amount of damage. And burning it down really quickly because you have access to Dragon Dance. So we kind of solved the problem of flipping, which is a problem that a lot of players, a lot of feedback that people had. And now we've kind of reverted it back to those days. And if you don't believe this isn't a big problem, if you just search Zapdos is broken Pokemon Unite, is OP Pokemon Unite, or if you type Zapdos was, how was Zapdos created? I mean, who knows? But you get my point. Zapdos was a big reason why people left this game. And I think a big reason why people came back and why we see so many returning players was thanks to the introduction of Thea Sky Ruins. And I'm worried that these same players that had problems with Zapdos are going to feel the same thing with Rayquaza. So I'm asking, if for whatever reason there's a developer that watches my videos or someone at Timmy, I think you guys made a mistake. Either revert this or increase his HP somewhere in the middle. Because I don't see this as a good long-term change. In fact, it's almost worse than release Zapdos because we didn't get so many damage buffs throughout. Or what I'm trying to say is Pokemon didn't deal as much damage as it did early in Pokemon Unite. We've gotten new Pokemon. They've gotten damage buffs. The newer Pokemon tend to deal more damage as well. So yeah, I'm not a fan of games being flipped away. Also, nerf Mew. Release Among Us in Pokemon Unite. And go and subscribe to the channel. Also, I have a TikTok. If any of you guys like TikTok, follow me on TikTok. I'm trying to get 1,000 followers by the end of the year. I'm only at 30, but we just launched it. So check it out, Ender Unite on TikTok. And I'll see you guys next time.